welcome back to Adobe Live. I'm your host, Christine Arth, and I'm here with Pouya Ahmadi.
Hey guys.
So, today we are going to focus on editorial design. And Pouya, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and while you finish drinking?
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect timing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and where you're from.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm originally from Tehran, and I studied graphic design back at the University of Tehran.
Nice.
Moved to Switzerland, Basel. Continued my studies in graphic design. And did my grad studies there, Basel School of Design, and then moved to Chicago about 7 years ago, roughly. And then since then, I've been working on all kinds of things, but mostly these days I'm focusing on. Well, I work as an educator. I teach design
Nice.
at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and then also have my sort of small studio that I'm running on the side, and that's very kind of focused on typography, mainly publication design, working with sort of art and cultural institutions and artists.
Cool.
Basically.
That's where you produced Amalgam, right?
Yeah, so this is another sort of side hustle.
Yeah,
that,
an amazing
I do.
publication. Speaking of editorial design, everybody, this is a really good one. Amazing. So today we have a really great schedule if you guys have been joining along with us. This morning we were on live with Sunny Park, and at 11 we were on with Marta Caro, and that was hosted with Kathleen Martin. Right now we're here with Pouya, and him and I are going to go through some awesome editorial. Yeah. And then 3 p.m. Alma Kamal is back with Kathleen. So take a look. It's got a great day packed full of great editorial design. We also have a couple fun things going on today. We have a chat and win, so in about half an hour, you can chat and you can win, possibly, these amazing socks, which they'll make an appearance back later. And then we also have a challenge. If you haven't already done so, we've got the challenge of portfolio review. So today's challenge is submit your portfolio. There's a link on the portfolio review tab, and it'll tell you all of the instructions on how to do that, and then you'll be able to have the possibility of Pouya actually giving you critical feedback. So pretty cool. So stick around, say hello, and we're excited to see you. Thanks, and welcome back to the chat, guys. I see some people from yesterday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Osama,
welcome
Ashi, Anais, Callan, Omar, Roxanne, and we've got Voodoo Val in the house, whoop, and Tim the Mo Beast. So, speaking of Mo Beasts, it's a great segue, right?
Perfect.
Let's maybe talk through a little bit of what you did yesterday and the day before
right.
for those who didn't get to join us.
For sure. Okay, so you're on my screen.
Yeah, we're on your screen now.
Right. So yeah, what we did is that I introduced the project. Day one, we were working on a section from Amalgam journal. It's an interview with the Type Foundry, Dynamo. It's a Swiss Type Foundry initiated by Johannes Breyer and Fabian Harb.
Nice.
And
Amazing typographers.
Yeah, great, really cool typeface designers based in Basel. These are some of their latest release. I'm just showing their website.
Yeah, for those of you watching, you can always download the Dynamo fonts on their website for purchase.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then Monotype has a bunch of them in Typekit for you for free. But there's tons of good stuff on their site, and it's really cool to see it.
So I'm basically laying out this interview that I did with them, and I'm using the interview as some kind of like a type of specimen showcase for their typefaces as well at the same time.
A little water break, everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, and we're back.
You're back. So this is you're looking at the actual layout of the section. So what we did on the first day, we basically specified parameters around the typography.
So many rules.
So many rules. We just specified all kinds of rules. We came up with 3 different typographic grids. that we basically assigned them to three separate masters. As you can see in the top right corner, I have a master, which is basically the body copy master, and you have the running titles on the corner.
Which we learned what running titles were, which is super cool. And folio.
And folio. And then in the B master, I have a separate grid just for our page numbers, folios, and this is basically showing where the page numbers are going to be placed on the page, so they get to have their own grid.
Super.
And then the third master, which is the C master, is again another separate master separate grid just for the images, and we have a certain rule around how we're going to place the images. So we basically start from the top left corner, moving towards the bottom right corner of the spread, and then with each spread we basically place the first image on the first cell in the first cell, skip 3, put the next image, and then skip 3, put the next, and so forth. And then with every spread we basically just start with the second and the third and the fourth cell in this grid.
Amazing. I love the rule around that because it looks really random but also controlled. There's a lot of people in the chat right now. They're like, grid life, yes, so good.
Cool.
And they still remember that folio means page number, so
cool.
You sank in.
All right.
Sabina
right.
actually has a great question. Did you print and distribute this journal yourself?
Yes. That's
yes, way.
Yeah, so basically I had 100% control over everything, except some people that I actually asked to contribute did not make it to the deadline, so I couldn't do really anything about that.
You're like, that's the rule.
Right, that's the rule, yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, everything else basically are all DIY. And yeah, so on the second day, too much?
No, this is great. Are you kidding me? Chat's like, yes.
Okay. All right.
Chat, tell us more. Ask more questions while Pouya goes through day 1 and day 2, because this is giving you the background if you missed it. Cool. And it's pretty great to see how you created what you did, because it's not random at all, even though there's parts that look like they are.
Totally right.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so as we as I just explained earlier, we set up some parameters for the body copy. For instance, every other page, the typeface is going to change, as you can see, even though this is what comes next after page 2, and page 3 is the same content. It's basically Dinamo's answer to my question, and but the typeface changes based on that rule. And on the on the following page, we have our images that go together with their sort of response to my image, or response to my question. As you can see, we just have our image grid, and we placed all these images related to that section. And as you can see, the page numbers are sort of starting to move.
Naturally starting to overlap with the other rules, so they're colliding. Exactly. I love it.
Yeah, so there's going to be all these kind of accidents throughout, and sort of scenarios that we anticipated but not exactly. We don't know what exactly is going to happen, but we're just going to figure them out as we go. Mm-hmm. So
Osama has a question for you. Have you ever tried to get into or try UI UX design?
Yeah, I did a little bit. I would say I got into designing apps for actually for a couple of years. I did iPad applications, and actually for smartwatch or Apple Watch, I did an application for that too. And these are a very sort of specific products, sort of financial research products that I did. And those are, there are certain restrictions around those kind of that particular environment, like when you're working on UI and UX. But I had the opportunity to kind of control, or I kind of managed to work on both sides, both UX and UI. So that was great. I mean, you don't usually get to do that.
Yeah, no, that's
but,
great.
But it's great if you have control over both part, because usually those are separate. Like,
It's nice to marry them together.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
yeah,
it's usually when something's stronger is because they're
Yeah.
more collaborative on those two ends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great question, Osama. Thank you.
Yeah. So I basically put quite a bit of what we
Nice.
had. I'm just going through.
Love those 20s.
The content, and I'm just gonna. So today, basically, should I explain what we're doing
Yeah,
today?
let's go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
What's today going to be about, Pouya? Tell us.
All right. So today we're gonna try to finish this section, the interview or the conversation with Dinamo. I'm gonna bring in the rest of the content. And one thing that we actually did not get to do was one of the rules that I explained earlier yesterday. And
Did
that
we
was,
miss a rule?
I know, terrible.
That's so
Unbelievable.
bad.
Yeah.
You're like, I made the rules and then I totally,
and I totally
forgot 'em.
forgot about them. And it's funny because they said we're gonna get to it later. We're gonna get to it later,
Yeah.
and I just never got to it. So that rule was. Does anyone remember what that rule was?
Does
that we
anyone
missed?
remember the missing rule? I don't remember the missing rule.
Let's see. No.
They're in love with it, though. That's they do remember being in love with this, and they want to see the shift through each page so
Yeah.
that they can see the page numbers move.
Yeah, you can totally like do an animation.
Totally. Yeah, we were talking about
Right.
that earlier with
Yeah.
Sunny because she has waves in hers that like
Oh,
would go
yeah.
from
Nice.
long to short.
Perfect. That's great.
And you're, it's so interesting to hear the editorial process for
Yeah.
everybody. It's great, yeah.
Totally. I used to love that when I was a kid. I remember like
Oh,
always
totally.
did like on
The
the
stick man?
corner.
Yes,
Yeah, totally.
totally.
Yeah, all
I
the
heard
time.
stickmen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, actually, it would be pretty cool to start from the beginning and maybe put it into presentation mode
Yeah,
and
and
flip
then
through.
yeah,
Yeah, I
go
bet
through
the
it.
chat would love to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let's do that.
All
That's
right,
good.
cool.
Remind me later. 'cause
Yeah, I
I'm
will.
gonna
You're
forget.
like, yeah, let's do that. I'm like now? You're
Yeah.
like, no, remind me later. I'm like, okay, cool.
Let's do it.
We'll
Yeah.
do it later, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. And so.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that thing that I forgot about.
The forgotten rule. Everyone's
forgotten
like, we
rule.
don't know.
Yeah.
We were so captivated.
Is that I said the images are going to be knocked out of the text.
Right.
And I did not get around to do that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to quickly show what I was talking about yesterday. So I'm going to bring.
Billy is still stuck on the number 6. He's like, look, I'm still,
Obsessed.
I'm here. I'm back for number 6. Can't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Well, you know you can buy that font and it can be yours.
Yeah, totally. Go for it. I love that font. It's
Yeah.
definitely
Grow.
amazing.
Such a good font.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing on me.
Yeah.
Sorry, dad jokes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Number one dad over here. Thanks. Eric Seuss is such an amazing book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Just gotta call out those compliments. It always feels good, you know. You're up
Yeah,
here all
that's
alone,
great.
and we can't hear the music that you guys hear. And
Yeah.
we're all like hearing each other's stomachs
Glad.
growl, and that's right. Going hoarse. Too funny.
Yeah. So this is basically what I meant. So I'm basically taking these images and applying them or knocking them out of the text that comes after in the following page, and you can see it creates these kind of bizarre white spaces.
Yeah.
Especially on the right-hand side. This is like a really weird, like how you
cool.
read this. It's just like you have to jump back and forth. So this is kind of meant when I started this project, like with this kind of accidental, sort of exciting moments that you don't anticipate. You wouldn't normally do things like this if it was just for a very, restrict rules or like a grid that would not allow for accidents like this.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna keep going with these accidents.
Thanks, Philip. That's what I'm here for. Lowering stress levels. I
You
love
seriously
it.
are doing a
I'm
great
like,
job.
cool.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
attest to
I
that.
do it for myself, actually. I'm like, and I'm like, I know.
freaking
I'll
out.
make a dad joke. And I'm like,
But
ah.
feels so much better.
Yeah, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm just like everybody else. Yeah, we all have stress.
Yep.
So was the knocking out the photos that you were saying it was a happy accident? So was it something that you had done and then you were like, oh, I didn't
Right.
put a photo in there and it was just blank, but it worked?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. This is just like to bring in some interesting white space, just because here's also it tends to get
Like
really
photo
busy.
heavy or like
Yeah.
everything heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything
heavy.
just like heavy all over.
You know, all the things.
Right. So this
Nice.
is just to kind of
Ah, yes. Andrea Rose says, this is looking really cool. It
Thank
is looking
you.
very cool.
thank you. Appreciate that.
And chat, don't forget, if you chat, you could win. So in about 13 minutes, we're going to have a chat and win session. If you see fireworks, that means it's ready and time to chat. And then you can win some Photoshop socks. And I don't mean we're going to Photoshop socks on you, but we are going to put Photoshop socks on you. I'm sure that was confusing, but I liked it.
Okay. So I'm gonna actually let this be as is. for
Ooh, yeah, I like
now.
that one.
And here we have this giant thing. So I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna, knock out this whole thing. I'm just gonna take this area where this particular piece is,
Yeah, otherwise it would be the whole spread.
basically,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna bring
You're like, and
that
there goes all the
in.
copy.
Yeah.
You're like, shoot, we just
Nothing
made
in
this.
the-
We
yeah.
just made this
It was
publication like 40 longer
completely-
pages.
Yeah, this definitely makes it a lot longer now.
Yeah.
It's like,
But that's cool, because then that means that we get to see the numbers move around more.
yeah. It's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So like, see, like it creates all these like bizarre moments that are fun. I think they're
I
fun.
think it's cool, yeah.
Otherwise, I would never. I mean, I don't think I would ever do.
I like
things that.
bizarre. Yeah. It makes it feel like I want to look more into the publication as far as like, why is there this
Yeah.
big chunk
what
missing?
happened? Yeah, exactly.
So it interests me to like figure it out. It's almost like Where's Waldo, where you're there searching. You're like, but why?
Yeah.
Where?
Totally. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good point, because I think that's also what I really like about publication design, because I feel, I mean, generally the type of work that I'm interested in are work that I get to discover these like certain, secrets about them, like how the designer actually created certain logic behind the work and why certain pages look the same, but certain way
Totally.
and so forth.
And I think
So-
that's what's so nice about editorial in the way where it's more of an experience for especially coffee table books.
Yeah.
And I know that's maybe not like the coolest term to say, but I don't know
No,
what the
that's-
better term would be, because we wouldn't set Moby Dick like this, because that would be huge and long, and like it would
It'd be
drive someone's
15
it'd be like
or,
20,000 pages.
pages.
And then people would be like, I don't even know what happened to the
Yeah,
whale.
I know.
I'm so tired.
Is it done yet?
But for coffee table books, it's like that's the moment of relaxation and
Yeah.
browsing and
Yeah.
discovering.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that term that he uses very appropriate. Experience. I think
Yeah.
it is really about experience.
Totally. It's the original experience design.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think like so all these hype around this hype around UX, like experience design and all that stuff. I feel like as much as it tends to be like a new thing, but I think
It's
every
always been
kind of
there.
design has to do with experience. You can't say
Yeah.
like, oh, typography has nothing to do with experience. You
Oh,
just-
totally. I totally agree. It all does.
Yeah.
I think that's the education that is really important to know. Like when when we think it might be singular, it's because we might not know the past. It's like
Exactly,
anything
yeah.
else, you know?
Right.
Like learning the past of the design that you're doing helps to educate you on the fact that it's all been around, it's just different now.
Right, yeah.
We call it different names.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah, any experience is for a user.
Yeah,
So therefore it's all user experience.
yeah, that's true. There's gonna be there's always a user for
Yeah, there's always a user.
Or, yeah,
I think that's the best part about design is you have to think about who your audience is and what you want them to feel, think, and consume.
exactly.
Oh, look at that. Is that color up there? Am I seeing color? Or is that black?
It's black.
Oh, okay.
It was
I was
like,
like,
a
wait.
tiny little red thing, and that's
I was like, wait a second.
what was that? Where did that
What
come
is
from?
color doing in
I'm gonna get into color too later if we get a chance to. So, depending on how fast I can move, I'm gonna try to get into color, and possibly.
I like this chat's like, we're users. A bunch of users in here, that's for sure. I'm like, yeah, go
Yeah,
users.
Right.
So funny.
They're all users, right?
We're all users, that's
Right.
right. Adobe
So-
addicts.
And yeah, I think that's the end of this
Nice.
question. And so I'm gonna bring in the
Oh, are we doing one more
rest.
font, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you might have already noticed because I brought in those, or I knocked out the images.
Yep. Oh, right. So it lengthened the text a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Just when you thought you were done, they pulled you back
Right.
in.
yeah. Yeah. So now it totally messed up the rules.
You're like, I messed
So,
up my own rule.
Yeah. It's
But that's
basic-
okay. That's
yeah. We
important.
can always go back and clean things up. But yeah, so this rule, like every other page, the typeface would change. It got like things shifted around a little bit, so I have to go back and clean them up.
Cool.
But I'm just gonna quickly pop in or bring in the text and the images, and I'm just gonna go back and clean up all these like mess that I created. So right now,
Tom Sherrill says, that font is difficult to read for me for some reason. We're like, it's not just
it's
you,
not
Tom.
you.
It's not you.
It's not you. It has nothing to do with you.
I knew you were going to say, I'm like, it's not you, Tom. It's,
Yeah.
It's us. It's all of us. It's the
Yeah,
users.
It's the.
But
yeah.
it's the experience. We
Yeah.
want you to take a little more time with that paragraph.
Yeah, that's definitely that could be the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, not everything, it's not a billboard. A publication is not a billboard. It doesn't have to
Totally.
you don't have like 3 seconds to read it. It's like it's more of an experience.
Yeah.
So you have to like spend time with it, discover things. So we're gonna take advantage of that.
Totally.
And so here I'm going to, let's see, do we need more images for this section? That's image number 18.
Nice.
And here, 17, 18 is already here. Okay, great. Yeah. So one thing is that I can actually move this over. This
Tom
guy.
says, okay, I feel better. Don't worry, Tom, we're with you. He's like, oh, phew. Thought I was going blind.
Yeah. Now that.
Super funny. I know, I was like, maybe I should wear my glasses, but.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, it's nothing to do with you. Don't worry about it. Don't.
That's great.
Yeah.
So how many out there in chat are also working in editorial design, and maybe not just today, but even right now? You guys following along, or is that your profession? I'm curious. I always like to know. Roxanne says, yep.
Great.
Oh, Massimiliano has a question. When you have planned a project, you have thoughts about the target audience, or you draw your style and try to reach a wider audience?
It depends on the project, really. So, like with this particular publication, I really don't have a specific audience in mind. I really, actually, I guess I do and I don't at the same time. This is really a passion project, so it really is about the things that I'm interested in, and I'm hoping that there are people out there that are interested in the same kind of thing, so they would, buy it if they are. So this is this is kind of like an exception, but usually if there is a client, like a client that is not me, usually there is, of course, a certain type of audience. But I, again, at the same time, I try not to sacrifice like too much of what I think is the right thing to do for that particular project. So if I have a concept in mind that I think really works with the theme of that project, I would really try my best to push for it as much as I can. So yeah, but it's always like
back and forth.
Yeah, it's always back and forth. It's like how do you say it? Yeah, you sometimes have to do some compromise.
Yeah, and I bet it's a little bit more of the difference between like artistic design and commercial design.
Yeah.
More on the fine art side, which I find maybe this publication to be more in the artistic design publication.
Yeah, definitely.
Mainly because it's a thinking piece that you want to sit with.
Yeah.
And contemplate over, versus a commercial piece, which is to communicate something very specific and allow people to gain information and then move on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it really depends on what the project is.
Totally.
Who the client is, who the audience is. Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong way to do it, but definitely if your audience is, your client has a specific communication, then you have to think about that and what you're trying to get across. So, and since your audience and client are typographers, you know, then it's more about the type.
Right.
Not so much about what they're saying until you get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a very much
Hi,
better
Walter.
way to explain that.
Walter says he's very busy this week, but he's here.
Thank you.
Good.
That's great. Okay.
I like the Walter with a V. It's like Walter with a W. I like that. Walter, where are you from? Kind of like Voodoo Val. It could be Voodoo Wow. Sorry, Val. I went there. It was, an inside thought that was outside. Brazil. Cool. Welcome. Yeah, we've got 1 minute left, and then we're going to be doing the chat and win. So, Walter, you jumped in at the best time. Cool. Hi, Jonathan. Yay, chat and win.
Okay.
Ooh, looking good. I like that image.
It's supposed to be a letter form, but it's very abstract.
Yeah, extremely abstract. That's what's so great about it. Nice. All right. Chat and win countdown. Are you guys ready? Okay, the fireworks are there. We're doing this. We're going to be right back, and then we're going to chat to win. Hi, guys. We're back. Okay, so to chat and win, How many of you have made a sock puppet before? Chat and go. Let's see. I know I have. Socks! Ah!
Nice.
Ah! Why? Ah! I don't know why. It's just so funny. You put a sock on your hand and it's like an instant friend. Oh, great. We got a winner.
Already.
Our winner is
Ashibati.
Ashibati. Too funny because she's like, I don't wear socks.
Oh.
She's like, but it doesn't
He just
mean I
said
don't
hi.
want to win the socks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yay. Congratulations, Ashi.
Congrats.
Now you have socks for your hands. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. Thanks for chatting and winning. And then there's always a chance to win one more time today, later on with Kathleen and Alma. Cool.
All right.
All right. Cool. So we're getting right back in. We're doing it.
Yeah, back to business.
Back to business. That's
Yeah.
right. I like this. This week, everybody's like business. It's good.
Yeah,
it's like no
it's
messing
super-
around. We're like,
no.
all right, you guys won. I'm getting back into
Okay,
design.
right back to it. Yeah.
So fun.
And yeah,
Ooh, is that big type sculpture?
yeah.
Ooh, cool.
Let's see what it is.
Yeah, it's cool to see some of their images like really large like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also the images are, this is a really cool thing about the conversation because they talk about a lot of things that are not directly related to type design, and that makes it really interesting. So if you are a type designer or a typographer that have like a lot of different interests, because these guys are like, they have so many different...
it looks like they dabble in a lot of structural and
things.
sculptural with the type, so
They-
more
yeah.
three-dimensional.
Or
It's
like
awesome.
where they get their inspiration.
Yeah.
So this
What
is...
exactly are those? Do we know?
They actually, I think they...
It looks
okay,
like
let's-
signs, maybe?
Good, let's see if I can find the exact thing that they explain here. Sorry.
Hi, Olani.
Let's see. Actually, I should probably bring it in later.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
this
looks
is
like
like a 3D
signage.
printed. Yeah.
Oh,
it's
cool.
yeah, it's not their work. It's but it's
Right, it's using their work
yeah,
to design 3D printed
Right, yeah.
structures. Cool.
yeah,
Man,
yeah. It's really
that's nice.
neat.
Jonathan says that grid is really something. It is something.
Yeah, this is just a really basic grid for the images.
I love it though. Everyone's really excited about the unexpectedness of the layout, utilizing the grid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, Christina. She's like, love this.
Thank you.
She's an editorial designer as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
So there's a question from Sini Halala. I hope I got that right. Pouya, where do you get nice high quality images for your editorial spreads?
Well, for this particular project, these are all images that the artists or the designers provided me with. I mean, if depending on the project, like, I think if you really need to use stock photos, I think Adobe has.
Oh yeah,
Stock.
Adobe Stock, you can always utilize
Right.
that platform and bring it in. You
Right.
can even try it out before
Oh, yeah.
you license and purchase it, which is nice.
Oh, that's great. Oh, yeah, because they're licensed, but you can use them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And try them, right?
But these were provided, right?
Yeah, these were given
they're
to me
beautiful.
by the artists themselves. So
Nice. So for the chat that's here right now and those to come, portfolio submissions, you have about 55 minutes until the portfolio submission deadline. And you have the ability to submit your portfolio of work, and Pouya will be doing critical feedback on 2 portfolios that'll be selected. So if you entered before and didn't get chosen, now's your chance to enter again. Pretty exciting. Hi, Ashi. Congrats again. Nice job. Way to chat. Way to win. So we had a lot of people in chat yesterday from all over the world. I'm curious because there's a bunch of new people in chat today. Where's everybody from? I know that we have one from Turkey.
Cool.
Missouri. Oh, right, yeah. Montreal, nice. I bet it's really pretty there right now. Orlando, ooh, warm. Yep, Columbia, Cape Town. Star Killer Base, that's definitely Voodoo Val. Ireland, Arkansas, Rio. Wow, South Korea, Belgium. Nice, Berlin.
Oh, wow.
They're from everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
I love this. It's such an international crowd. It makes me really happy to know that everyone all over the world is like, yeah, design. Yeah, Antwerp.
Antwerp, nice.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Vancouver with love. Aww. Sao Paulo. Nice. I've always wanted to go to Brazil. Quebec. Ah, Roxanne, Le Québécois. Nice. Ouais. My very few French words will come out. Yeah. I was like, ha. Yes. Oui. Super good. Well, thanks for joining us from all over, everybody. This is great to see. It's such a spread.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. The Québécois dialect. Very nice. Me too. I like this. You're like jamming on. This is good. Val caught it. Spread design. Design joke. Nice. I was like, there's a spread of people. Ah! Dad joke. Dad number one. Ooh, Peru. Nice. We're both like, nice.
Interesting.
I wonder if we have anyone watching from your hometown in Tehran.
Anyone.
And when I say town, I mean like huge city, but I was like, your hometown. This small little place. I'm like, I know it's huge. It's like the New York.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, too funny. One of my really dear friends grew up there, and I was like,
really?
cool.
Cool.
I was like, so what's it like? He's like, oh, it's like a really big city.
Yeah, really crowded,
Yeah.
busy,
fun. Good design, though. Like, interesting.
Yeah, it's very...
Ooh, Cordoba. Yeah,
Cordoba.
But like beautiful. Like the typography is unlike anything else. Argentina, nice.
Cool.
Hello, Luis.
Okay, 23. Sorry, I'm just I'm a little quiet now because
Oh,
I'm
that's
trying
good.
to.
Yeah. Jive, you gotta go. Chat will keep us going. I can see that.
Great.
Cool. Yeah. The last 2 days we've watched all of these rules come together, and seeing them transpire throughout the pages has been really pretty wild. I'm definitely going to adopt some of these rules as far as like maybe not the exact rules, but rules in general to collide.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I think it's a great style.
Yeah, it's a fun. It's also fun because you don't know what exactly you're getting. You have some ideas of what's gonna happen, but not exactly clear, and that's
Yeah.
really the fun part of it. That's what I really personally enjoy.
Totally, it's the lack of prediction.
Yeah.
I always find that with sci-fi movies and books, where those are the ones I enjoy reading and watching the most because I can't predict it.
Yeah, what's happening.
Where I feel like I'm pretty well versed and easily able to predict most other types and styles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's drama. I know
Yeah,
what's happening.
I know what's happening.
Yeah.
You write it.
But
yeah,
with
and you start-
sci-fi,
yeah,
that's
you
why
never
it's so
know.
wild. And that's why I think I like this process, because it's like that. It's mystery.
Yeah, it's
Like I
all
have an
kinda
idea, but until
Sort
all
of.
the puzzle pieces come
come
together,
together.
we don't know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, totally. So let's
Nice.
see.
Another Californian in the house. Sacramento, eh?
Cool.
Yeah, we're here in San Francisco. So for those of you watching, we've got Pouya all the way from Chicago in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
By way of Switzerland and Iran.
Yeah, I know. It's like
You've been all
Could
over
be
the
more.
world. Yeah.
yeah, complicated.
You're
It's
like,
just like
yeah.
that's how my design works too.
Yeah,
So it's
I do love
complicated
that,
as
though.
possible.
Yeah, I think it makes it more interesting to know that you've had such a varied influence from
Yeah.
all different countries, people, and backgrounds.
Yeah,
I think it's
people
great for designers.
usually get that. Like, what do you think was the most kind of influential moment
Yeah.
in your life?
What was it?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I think I'm kind of like a product of all these experiences. Really
Yeah.
Experience.
Totally. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There was no like
But,
one
yeah.
moment that stands out.
Yeah,
I think
not
that's
really.
a hard question.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, they're all kind of unique and.
Oh yeah,
That's-
type
so this is-
designers with beer.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
beer
definitely.
potatoes. Oh yeah,
Very
those
German.
guys are definitely German.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like,
so,
yeah, Prost. I love it.
Right. So this is Johannes. This is Fabian.
Nice.
Great guys.
Great guys.
If you're
Are they
watching-
dressed alike?
What's
They look
up?
like they're dressed alike. Oh yeah.
Kind of.
They're
yes
also
and no.
mirroring each other in
Yeah,
a
I
weird
know,
way.
they're
Oh
wearing
man,
the
this is
same
just too
shirt.
funny. Hopefully that one gets into a big spread.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually.
You're like, actually, you're like, we could do that.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. It's getting this little.
So, Sydney has a question. Do you have any predictions for design trends for the next year?
Those questions are really tough.
Maybe personal design trends, like things that you're either noticing yourself or things that you are enjoying to create.
Yeah, I think like, yeah, I mean the past couple of years, I mean it's really, I don't know where to start even. There is, I think there has been the past couple of years, maybe one thing that has been very sort of dominant. It's been the return of modernism, but not exactly in the with the same sort of mission or like public mission. It's like a sort of maybe a bastardized version of
Totally.
modernism.
Overly saturated.
Right, and then it's been also like really appropriated versions of modernism. So and I think there is probably gonna be, I mean, because I think it's being even more saturated now.
Yeah.
And I think there's gonna be a moment where it's gonna turn around again, like how modern or postmodernism sort of took modernism and completely turned it up on its head. I think there's gonna be a moment like that. I don't know if it's what it is gonna be, but like this kind of like a reaction to what modernism stood for.
Totally. I
It's
completely agree. Everything's so hyper minimal
yeah,
right now, even in product design and packaging.
yeah,
I've noticed the lack of emotion or the lack of, I would say, feeling or attachment. And that's the last thing I want when I'm buying a product. I'm like, I want to know what it's feeling and what
Yeah.
it's going to make me feel. I kind of want it to tell me a story with its graphics and its colors.
yeah,
And it's also hyper minimal,
yeah,
which it's not bad because it's nice design,
Yeah.
but it's maybe lacking personality.
Yeah.
And I think we might, like you just said, see an over-index of personality coming out.
Yeah.
Which could be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll
and-
definitely be different, and everything is cyclical, so.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, one interesting thing about trends now is that, I mean, trend might be actually really the proper word
Uh-huh.
because, it used to be like waves or like, isms, basically.
Yeah,
but
totally.
now it's like everything is so moving so fast, like social media
Totally.
and like, things being produced in such a fast
Yep.
pace. It's almost like, I think, maybe trend maybe is...
Trend, I think there's specific trends that are out there.
Yeah, and even like you feel like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Like one day, one thing, this kind of like type of layout is cool. Next day is like another thing is like the cool thing. Like they
Right.
go out of style like in like a matter of like a day sometimes.
Completely.
It's like one day everyone doing this thing and the next day everyone doing something else.
Yeah, and I think it's if it makes sense for what you're working on, then it feels right naturally.
Yeah.
But when it doesn't fit and it's forced, you can definitely detect the kind of lack of credibility of it.
Exactly.
And it makes it feel weak.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I would say, so my philosophy, personal philosophy is that I personally don't like following trends. And
Agreed.
usually I actually try to avoid them as much as I can. Like even if I subconsciously do something that
Right.
I'm totally doing this because I saw it somewhere. I try to like sort of be aware of that. And I mean, it happens. Sometimes you don't even
Yeah, it happens. Or sometimes you have a client that really
know once.
wants, and like I think that's
Yeah.
always a different type of discussion where it's
Right.
like sometimes it's more of a moment of education where you help them see why that might not
Why
be
not?
sustainable.
Yeah, it should not be.
But sometimes it's the right thing to do, even
Yeah.
if it is on trend, which is tough.
Yeah.
It makes it even harder. You're like, oh, I did it. I'm part of it. No.
I'm part of the whole thing now.
Why?
Yeah.
You're like,
I did
but it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's tough.
I'm not against
No,
trends or
I
anything
completely
like
agree
that.
with you, though. It's trying not
Yeah.
to be part of it
Yeah.
while still appreciating
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like, I think, if you are just, a type of person that constantly wants to follow trends, you're going to, especially now these days, there used to be a time where, trends would last for a lot longer, more longer than just like a couple of days or a couple of weeks.
Eric just said Pouya is the trend. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to do Pouya. This is great. I want that. You're the trend. He's like, I want to wear the shirt like you so he can grab your power. I saw him say that earlier. I was like, that's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah. But I think, I think it's really good to sort of like think about, I think, to me, like always, the type of design that I'm interested in is a type that comes from always some kind of concept that the designer came up with.
Exactly.
It might overlap with the trend of the time. It might not at all.
Right. As long as it's part of the concept and the concept
right.
is original,
Yeah.
then it could be valid.
Yeah. So I would say like that's always the safest way to go for, just because you know if you do a trendy thing, that that day it's gonna be cool. A month from then, it's just gonna be oversaturated. Like everyone has done that already. So yeah.
Amazing. So you guys have about 40 minutes to submit your portfolios, and 2 lucky submissions will get reviewed by Pouya, and he'll give some awesome feedback. So get excited.
All right.
Get your portfolios in ship shape
Yep.
and put them out there.
I'm out there.
Yeah, that's a good discussion. I like this. Chat's really interested and involved in this. Yeah.
Cool.
It's fun to
Great.
experiment. I agree, Voodoo Val. But it's also nice to see the spectrum.
Totally.
Yeah, and Christina really loves your style. It's so different.
Thank you.
Nice. So chat, how many of you are using InDesign today? or at least in this last week since you've been following along. Because I know I hadn't used InDesign in a little while. I'm an Illustrator girl. I'm curious to see how many of them. Nice. Alexandra making a newsletter. Kaylin's doing it every day. Working in it right now, Christina.
All right.
Nice. Philippe says InDesign, Photoshop, and Illustrator all day. Nice. He doesn't sleep. He's actually a robot. Nice. Sebastian, every day. Rodolfo, every day. Man, every day InDesign. INDD for life.
Yeah.
Awesome. Pretty legit.
All right, so now you're actually doing the...
Ooh, Sine is currently making editorial spreads. Nice. Oh, I like this. This is the part where we're doing the blank images.
I did that a second ago. Right now I'm actually placing the numbers, doing the spiral.
Yeah,
thing
yeah. Oh,
that I
right,
talked
yeah.
about.
Oh, I love the happenstance that 23 is over that other one.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley says not yet, but she's getting inspired to start a project with InDesign. That is great.
Cool.
It's exactly what we want.
Yeah, way to go.
Can learn it here first with Pouya. Nice. Patricia, Paulo, Massimiliano. They're all using it.
Way to go, guys.
Oh, Christina has a great question. How do you add the blank images in a shortcut?
Add and...
Like if the image is blank, is it just a copy paste?
Oh,
or?
I just copied and pasted, and then I used the selection tool, and I clicked inside that image box or frame, and then you get this sort of like brownish frame around it, and then I just deleted it. And so it basically gets rid of the image, but the frame stays there.
Oh, awesome.
And that's how I did it.
Maybe you could do a quick show them too.
Sure, yeah.
That'd
so
be
like,
awesome.
Yeah, if I use the selection tool and go over the image, you see I get that little hand, and then I get this like brownish frame around it. If I click and then hit delete, it's gonna be gone, but then you see the frame is still there.
And it'll still say to move text, flow text around image.
Right, and then I just, exactly, use that feature.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Tricks of the trade.
Yeah, tricks of the trade.
You're like, that's right.
Yep.
Trick trade.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite tricks.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because you can't can you wrap text with text? You can.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, that's also a really fun one.
Yeah, that's pretty great too. It's weird.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think there's like all these unexpected things that make it really interesting.
Yeah.
Like about generally publication design, that you can do all sorts of things like that. I think a lot of them are becoming more maybe available on the web too. Like some of these things that you can do with print are still not exactly possible on web platforms. But I think it's becoming a lot more, like a lot of these features are becoming more available.
It's interesting.
Yeah, the technology is amazing.
Yeah, I think the experiential aspect of it is really fun too. It's risky, which I like.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to be able to see people take risks in design.
Totally. Yeah, so you see what is happening here. This is going a little all over the place.
Mohammed asks if he can have your file after you're finished, please. That's a good one, Mohammed.
Yeah.
Good one.
You want to see the mess that I just created?
You're like, sure.
Yeah.
There's nothing more revealing than sharing your files with
just the
another designer.
nightmare.
It's
Yeah.
like, it's kind of like seeing somebody naked. You're just like,
Basically.
here
It's
it is.
No, I like
You're like,
that.
this is how I layer, this is how I filter,
This
this
is
is
how
how I like
terrible.
combine things and
I've-
mock things up. And then you see the artboard, which is like, oh
It's a
my
freaking
goodness.
mess. Especially
Yeah.
like in Illustrator, like all the things
Oh
that you
yeah.
kind of put outside of your
My
art.
artboards are insane, and then
Yeah.
before I like finalize it, then I'll clean it all out
Yeah,
and
it's like
package it up with a bow so it always looks like it's perfect.
yeah, totally.
Yeah. I'm like, you should have seen it an hour earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So funny.
I've worked in scenarios where I had to like share my files with a lot of designers, and you would not believe how much time I would spend before just sending files to the other
Totally.
designers, like just cleaning
Totally.
up, just because it's such a mess when I finish something.
Yeah, it's hard.
Unbelievable. Terrible. Don't do it.
Definitely don't do it.
Yeah, never.
We're all like,
Yeah.
oh, so good.
Okay, let's see. I'm actually 23, 24, 5.
Yes, Kaylin, you're not alone on that. Everyone's like, yep, that's terrifying. Sharing your files is terrifying.
Yeah.
But it's great because it actually makes you really concerned and more buttoned up with the way you prep. So it's good. So for all of you in chat, we've got about 30 minutes until the portfolio submission deadline. So I hope you guys are getting your submissions in, and don't fear if you didn't get chosen this chance. You have one more. The next session with Kathleen and Alma, they'll also be reviewing portfolios. So you've got another chance to submit. Nice. Yeah, portfolio hype. Those numbers are looking good.
Yeah, we're getting some.
I think
Really
everybody's still
fun.
pretty excited about the numbers. They're like, oh, we're getting into 30s. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I was just starting to update all these numbers.
Totally.
Just because I'm going on this like spiral sort of pattern moving around
Yeah.
that. I can't use the automatic page number feature, so I have to like manually do that right now, and that's why it's been I've been behind.
I think it's awesome.
32.
Val says the numbers are giving her life. I agree.
33.
It's so good.
Almost there. Let's see if we can actually make a full spiral. Do you think we can do that?
Yeah. We're going to have to try.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. If we could get a full
You're like,
spiral.
I hope so.
That would be really awesome.
Cindy's asking if the numbers are custom, and they are a typeface
Yes, they're typeface. Yeah,
from
this
Dynamo.
Hmm?
I think he's new to today. So Dynamo is the subject of this publication, which is a type foundry, Swiss type foundry.
Yes.
And that is what Pouya is laying out, all of their type specimens in this publication. Pretty cool.
Yes.
So every element of typography that you see is one of theirs.
Right, exactly.
Mm-hmm. And if you're looking for similar types or just new fun types, you can take a look at Typekit now in InDesign and Illustrator. They have over 600 new fonts that you can download and utilize with your Creative Cloud subscription. Pretty awesome. Nice.
4,
You're like 3, 4.
Yeah, like
After
counting,
4, 5.
Oh, wait. It's massive. Did it go a little over? Oh, I have to turn right here. Okay. This is what happens when you have too many rules. So
You're
this
like,
actually had to turn right
too
here.
many rules can make you crazy, but I
Yeah.
like it. Oh, right.
So-
Yeah, because eventually you'll
Right,
make it horizontal again.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so like this loop
Oh,
is
right.
getting
It's
smaller
like-
and smaller. So like, so 32, 33, 34 should go this way.
Yeah, horizontal, right?
Right, that's right.
Nice.
36.
All the trickery.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, rules are hard.
Yeah.
Rules are hard, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
What were we thinking?
What were we thinking?
I like it.
36, 37. I start crying.
Yeah,
so
you're
no.
like,
What
well,
did
the
I
good
do?
thing is that you're using a really beautiful font. So,
Yeah, so it
you know,
keeps
like,
me
it's not
happy.
bad staring at this for a
Right.
while and trying to figure it out because, like, it looks good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is actually
If it was
not so
Helvetica,
bad.
I'd be cringing
Yeah.
right now. I'd be like,
What
ah!
am I doing with my life? Yeah, why am I doing this to
Yeah.
myself?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Be like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Some
cool.
Random things
Yeah,
happen.
with the backslash. Wow.
Yeah, this font is really crazy.
That is
so if you
great.
wanna
Yeah, I'm so buying that.
Mess around, you know where.
You're like,
what
you
to
know
do.
what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I think. Okay, this one is actually the last image, so I'm gonna have to
Make it big.
make it big. And this is actually their specimen that they designed.
Cool.
So this is pretty neat to actually have it in here.
Oh, I
And
love
have
type
to
specimens.
Weirdly crop it, just because of our bizarre rule. So yeah, I think we got the spiral actually, like perfectly
Yeah.
ended exactly where we want, or like at the end of the
Totally.
full spiral. So
Oh, wait, but you have those numbers twice.
uh-oh.
No, go down. 36 and 37.
36.
It would be 38 and 39.
Oh, 38. 39. Okay, thank you.
I was like,
Thanks.
but wait a second.
You know, seriously,
still
what I
works.
yeah.
I was like, look, I pushed
What?
you into this spiral. I at least
No,
I can
am
be
gonna
helpful
have
with
to
the
take
numbers.
your
I'm like,
hand
I'm sorry.
every single
Yeah,
step.
right. I love it.
All right. Oh, and I
Oh, it looks
actually
so cool.
moved. Okay. 32 is like driving me crazy.
Oh,
right
it's
now.
so hard. I know.
Yeah, so many, like, okay, so it went up, one more. This weird had to turn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
36.
missed one step,
It was like 34,
right?
right?
Yeah, so like this is actually where it was supposed to turn or become horizontal. Missed that. We gotta
You
get
guys,
this
when
right.
you make rules, you
gotta-
make life
Yeah,
easy and hard.
and hard at the same time,
That's right.
depending on how difficult your rules are. So this actually was supposed to be here.
Nice.
And then I can just make it an outline so I wouldn't mess too much with the text. And so 36 would be actually vertical.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And then does that mean that 38 and 39 are horizontal?
I think those are going to be still
Vertical
vertical.
as
Yeah,
well?
it's just going to
Just
have to
over.
move. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Which is kind of
Yeah.
awesome because then they overlap.
Yep. Totally.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Andre Salazar says great style and awesome. And wow.
Thank you.
So cool.
Yeah, so I'm just going over it and see like if I got everything right.
Hi Juan, glad you're back. So great. Well, you know, the only way to find out is if we preview it.
Oh, in animation.
And if it goes like this.
Right, yes, let's do that. Yeah, I think this is actually the perfect time.
You're like, it's time. It's
It's time
time,
to
guys.
do
We're
this.
going to do the preview. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so let's see the animation.
Oh my goodness. Yeah,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, I'm going to do one more time.
Oh man.
Back.
I absolutely love it.
All right, that's
So
our
cool.
animation. So I'm gonna just go back and clean up a bunch of things, basically.
Mohammed's asking if you have a YouTube tutorial channel because you should.
Oh wow. Okay, I actually never thought about that.
He's
but
like,
I consider it.
Yeah. He'll you, Mohammed.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. So
So cool.
let's see. If
I loved the animation.
Yeah, the animation I think is definitely fun.
I'm like,
part.
please make a GIF of that when you put this on your
Should.
website.
Yeah, I should. That's a
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah, thanks.
Because we all want to see it in form,
In-
GIF form forever. I'm like,
Yeah. Who wants to read this?
yeah, and
No,
if you
I-
need sound effects, just let me know. I'm great at Foley. A big. I was like, but maybe not. We can find something better for that. This is so good.
That's great.
I said beautiful and well done. I agree, you guys.
Thank
This is
you.
pretty awesome process.
Thanks.
It's amazing.
And so I'm just putting these name tags right now.
Ah, yes, Pouya. We need to put your Instagram handle. It's on your profile as well, right?
Is it? Yes, I
But
think.
I believe that. What is your Instagram handle?
It's Pouya Ahmadi
Pouya Ahmadi.
_com.
All right. And I
Yep.
bet that Adobe Live will pop that in there pretty quick. Nice.
Okay. Dynamo. Yep, did I get?
Bye, Lindsay. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy MO. Ah, perfect. Thanks, Adobe Live. So we've got the Twitter, Behance, and website. Awesome. And you can check out everything there. Pouya's great body of work. It's awesome. And while you're doing that, don't forget to submit your portfolios. Yeah. Got about 20 minutes for you guys to get your portfolios in the best shape possible for submissions.
Dynamo. And
Nice. Hooray, thanks, Juan. Don't worry, if you don't have a portfolio yet, make one next week. Make one this week. Make one any week. The thing is that this happens often, so every chance that there's an Adobe Live session is a chance to submit your portfolio. And it's worth doing. Get great feedback from great designers. So are these call outs right now of you're going back in and adding who says what where?
Right, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what is happening right now.
Nice.
And okay, yeah, I'm almost done with that. And then after I'm done, I'm gonna go back and check our rules and make sure with the body copy and make sure that we applied those properly or correctly to all the text, because we had this rule that the typeface would change, and I'm gonna double check, make sure that's done right.
Nice. Always double checking, which is good, especially in publication design, because once it's out there, it's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, yeah.
That's,
yeah, it's real. It's real,
the
folks.
hard way.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah. Okay, so name tags are there. Next thing, I'm gonna double check the text rules. So here, so this guy, to give up one of these. Which one is the lesser of two evils? Probably this guy.
Sebastian's really liking all the black and white designs on your Instagram.
Thank you.
Pretty cool. Agreed.
And this one is right. This one is correct. This one.
The job of a designer in editorial is never done.
Never.
I feel like it's always like constant checking through everything and, you know, crossing T's and dotting I's, but in a type way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah,
true.
more like kerning T's
Oh
and
my God, yeah.
fixing I's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah,
It's tedious.
lifetime. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's exciting. You
Yeah.
like it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if
obviously.
you are,
You're like, yeah, it's all right. It's just this thing I do.
yeah, it's the thing, you know. That's how it is.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, like, if you're really interested in editorial design, you kind of have to always be accounting for those, you know, late nights, just doing all these, like,
Totally.
extra work.
Yeah, little
basically.
adjustments.
Right, cleaning up. I mean, I'm not really getting too far into detail because
right. We only have so much
we
time.
don't have that much time, but
And some of that is like the very like detail-oriented work that is maybe not as exciting to watch on live
exactly.
TV. But it has to be done.
But it has to be done.
So just know, everybody.
Yes.
I think we had said this earlier too with Sunny. She's like, I'm not fixing all the rivers and I'm not
Right.
fixing all of the
No.
punctuation and everything, but you
Right.
get the idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it doesn't get that good looking by chance. It's all by skill
yeah, exactly.
and attention.
And attention, yeah, definitely. So like you can see like a lot of these there's a lot of like funny moments here and there.
Right, of just like spacing or
Yeah.
Well, especially using multiple typefaces. And
Yeah, this is like, it introduces so many different, all kinds of challenges that I'm trying to just figure out an easy way out right now. But if I had more time, I would really go back in and just finesse with like every single detail. Because that's what you gotta do with print.
Totally.
I mean, if it was web and, you know, with all these like, what's it called? Dynamic layouts and such, you know, it would be a whole different scenarios. There are a lot of things that you just don't really worry about just because the whole environment is all kind of like fluid. But with print, you kind of have to worry about all that.
Yeah. So, chat, I'm curious, How many of you have had a couple late nights in the past week or so doing editorial design and making everything cleaned up, picture perfect and pixel perfect?
Mm-hmm.
They're all like, me. Maybe they're doing that right now with their portfolios
Yeah,
before they
probably is
submit.
happening.
Because you have 15 minutes.
Right now.
Jason's like, yes, that was me. Late nights, coffee, Netflix on in the background,
Yeah.
just like editing. Totally. Yeah, there's points of where you get to a certain point in certain types of design where you can like watch something in your
Right, 'cause it's
peripheral
all
because it's like
Production.
yeah,
Right,
and
yeah.
tedious, yeah. Yeah, Val said she just pulled an all-nighter. Yeah. Lots of audiobooks, agreed. I do a lot of music, but sometimes I can watch things in the background, depending on what it is. Like if you're touching up on a font or
Right,
something and you're
yeah.
like cleaning
It's
up
like
a
an
letter,
easy-
it's
yeah.
like a lot of commands and you're just moving from
You just-
letter to letter and
right.
applying a rule.
Yeah.
This is great with the empty spaces. Oh, what is your favorite music to work with?
Let's see. My music taste is all over the place, honestly. I do. Wow. Where to even start? I mean, I go
like,
through
everything.
phases.
Yeah.
And the problem that I have is that I listen to like things for like one song for like 30 times in a row.
Oh, me too. That's so funny. Yeah.
It's
I love it.
Really, I don't know what to say about that, but
I don't either. I don't know what to say about
Yeah.
it. I'm with you though.
yeah, totally.
It's like I want to know the song really well and then I just get tired of it.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like lately I've been listening to The War on Drugs a lot.
Oh, nice.
I think
Yeah,
that's
this is
been on
good
the
because
loop.
I need a new thing in rotation, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I enjoy to like kind of like listen to just one artist for like a long period of time until I'm like totally sick of them. I can't stand them anymore.
Yeah. Hi, Matt. Thanks for joining us. Christoph says he does the same thing, and Asama says absolutely. Yes, so we're
Okay.
not
Yeah,
alone.
we're not
good.
alone. That's
We're all
good.
like,
Okay,
we
I thought
listen to
we were
the
the
same
weirdos.
song over and over again. I know.
Yeah.
Well, I have another friend that's like that, and he's always like, yeah, here's a really good song that I've been listening to on repeat. I think
For
you'll like
50 times.
And we'll like share our one repeat song, and we'll be like, oh yeah, that was good. Really
great.
moody. It's like I was listening to Philip Glass, who's like,
Oh yeah, that's
you
great.
know,
Yeah.
piano. And,
Yeah, there's been definitely I've had Philip Glass and
Oh, man.
Steve Reich
Yeah.
moments or
Totally.
phases.
I'll make my own playlist based on
Yeah.
things like that, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
nothing but glass.
Right, yeah. All sort of like minimalism.
Too funny.
Yeah, definitely.
I
That's
love it.
right.
Voodoo Val says she's a repeat listener too. She's like, we might be strange, but we're not alone.
Yeah, nope.
That's right.
Yeah.
We found our people. I was like,
Yeah, you're the
there's
something.
something with that.
right. Yeah, group.
Totally. I recently was over in Paris, and the radio station that was on didn't have commercials, and they played some really interesting music. And one of the days they had played like 20 different renditions of Snoop Dogg, but like through symphonic concert and choir.
Huh.
And it was so wild. I was
Nice.
like, oh, dog catcher, but like in a totally different way.
Wow.
I kind of got obsessed with the song, so I made like this long playlist of Snoop Dog Catcher in like every single version I could find. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It was really, calming in a strange way.
Yeah, sometimes you need things like that to
Yeah.
kind of like. I
It
don't
was
know.
different, but it was the same.
Yeah,
You know, like
I know,
every version was different, but it was the same.
same exact thing, right?
It was, yes, classic Snoop Dogg, but it was classical Snoop Dogg.
Classical Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you guys should look it up. It's great. Yeah, Spotify for the
Gonna-
win.
Yeah.
Nice. We're getting down to the wire, you guys. Almost
Yeah.
less than 10 minutes.
Less than 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm curious. Christoph says some chill EDM at night.
Nice.
Yeah. Alexandre Desplat in the morning. Nice. I gotta look that up. I don't know that.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the portfolios either. I hope you guys are getting them all in there. Pretty excited. Doo-doo-doo. I know, I'm stoked. So Pouya, what's been your favorite part about being in San Francisco compared to Chicago right now?
Good question.
I mean, like, I know you've been working most of the time, but
Yeah, I mean, it's a really different actually. It's a whole different vibe, and it's definitely I would say it's a much busier city. There's a lot going on, or it feels like there's a lot going on.
oh, that's
So
funny.
you kind of feel like, oh, am I missing on something? There must be something going on that I'm not.
You're like, something's happening.
Right,
I just
something
don't know what.
happening, but I don't know what it is.
That's funny. I always feel like that in Chicago. I'm like,
Really?
oh, there's something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different. I think one thing that I noticed, like the main difference is that Chicago, like the architecture. I think I really love Chicago because of its architecture.
Me too. It's got some of the best architecture in America.
Yeah, and that's been something that I've been always really a big fan of. But it's also a very it's a Midwest city, so it's very humble at the same time. People
Yeah.
are very humble and very sort of approachable. I mean, it's actually, I would say it's the same here too. Not that it's
Nice.
different, but yeah, it definitely has more. I feel like it's very sort of busy. Everyone is doing something.
Everyone's
there.
always doing something, right? And everywhere in the world.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of to me, it's like an interesting because I recently went to Portland and New York, and for some reason I feel like it's a mix of the two in a way.
Yeah.
It's like it's busy. It's not as big as, or it doesn't feel like it's as big as New York, but it's really busy like New York. But then it's kind of like it has some qualities from Portland. I don't know how to say it exactly, but yeah, for some reason, it kind of reminded me of both.
Nice. Oh, this is looking really good. So if you haven't already submitted your portfolio, you have about 5 minutes to submit. There's still chances to get your portfolio reviewed by Pouya, and if you didn't get chosen this time around, Alma and Kathleen will also be reviewing portfolios in the next session, so stick with us. Ah, Mike says he's in Chicago right now.
Cool.
He says beautiful weather. For
Yeah.
now. For now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, we know for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come October, it's a different story.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but it's
Fall's getting shorter. Ooh, it's looking really good. I'm excited to see the carryover for the new typeface too. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is cool. Really nice. Oh, Juan's moving to Chicago next week. Look at that, Juan. Looks like you have 2 new friends.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love how wild it is. That's great.
That's the exact right word for this. Wild.
Wild's great. I love wild.
Okay, let's see if I can finally. Okay, that's 39. And
Oh, nice. Do we get to go to 40?
Yeah.
Yes.
40, totally.
Yes. We're doing it.
Yeah.
That's cool. We have 4 minutes, so I think we can do it. Totally.
Yeah. Let's do this. Finish it.
That's where you break all your rules and you start doing text.
Yeah.
On it. You're like,
It's just gonna go crazy. From now on, this is
yeah,
gonna
40.
Go.
That's a
Cool.
lot, you guys. I just want to comment to all of you and make sure you guys realize 40 pages is a lot.
Yeah, there is.
41 pages is more than 40, so. I'm like, which one of these is not like the others?
Which one?
Exactly. Who here is also extremely impressed that there's been 40 plus page designs in the last 6-hour session? That's pretty amazing. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. 41? Is that right?
Yeah, 41.
Wow. 41.
I know, right?
All right.
Voodoo Val's like, I am. I know I am.
38, 7, yeah.
You're like, me too.
Wondering if I should
Very awesome work.
change these two.
Nice.
And move this up here. And then
Sneaky. Yeah.
change this last one to
Oh, this is so cool. It's looking really good.
what should we use? Too many options. I'm gonna go actually back for grow.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't
Nice. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
I must
we
have sent
should-
you a telepathic message.
Yeah.
I was like, do grow.
Yeah, because I don't think we did use it for text.
No, just
but
for the letters,
see, just
right?
Look at this.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Surprisingly enough, it's not difficult, even though it's
Yeah.
much more difficult to read uppercase than it is to read lowercase.
Yeah,
In long format, it's really well done.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm so getting that font.
It's now,
Nice.
I think, pretty much.
Incroyable.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah. It ends on a real high note. I like that.
40,
The overlap is
41.
amazing on the last spread.
Yeah, these are, I liked how these kind of like every now and then they
Yeah,
kind of
they
started
touch or
overlapping.
like
Yeah.
get close. It's really cool. Do you think we could look at it in animation?
Yeah.
All right,
again?
let's do it,
Yeah, let's
guys.
do animation. So I'm gonna go to the very beginning of this. Oh, nope, not that presentation.
So good. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
And then maybe we do one that's like slightly slow. Just so that people can see the layouts because they're individually so
Oh,
beautiful
okay.
too.
Sure. Is this
Yeah.
good speed? Or am I going too
Wow.
fast?
It's great. It's so cool to see everything move around
Yep.
in such a system. Yeah, everyone's like, nice work, good stuff, awesome,
Thanks.
love it, wow. So
Thanks, guys.
good, yeah. So good.
how much time do
Amazing
we
job,
have?
Pouya. This
Thank
is
you.
just beautiful.
Thanks.
Incredible. So, what comes to that is the portfolio submission deadline. And we're done. So, you guys, that means that if you didn't already submit, you have a chance to in the next session, but we're going to take a check out into space and we'll be right back. we're back. We took a trip out in space. We saw Val out there. It was really weird. We like ran into her and we're like, "Whoa, Val, what are you doing? Why are you here in space?" She was like, "I don't know." Anyways, she gave us 2 portfolios to look at while we were out there, and we have some amazing work to review. So first off is Christina Perrell. She's a graphic designer and design thinker from Washington, D.C., and we're going to take a look at her website. I really like that you're trying to drink through your helmet.
I know.
Are we keeping these? We're keeping these, aren't we?
Are we?
Sure, we can do it. All right, let's do this. Okay, so Pouya is going to give some feedback on the portfolio and just a little bit of a intro for Christina. She's a graphic designer with focus in typography and illustration. And she has 4 years of in-house design experience and worked with teams in established organizations and within startup environment. Pretty cool. So let's take a look, and feel free to choose anything that you want to start with.
Sure. Let's start with, because you said she's interested in illustration.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start with something that has more.
Do you want to, like, say Marco Polo? I'll be like, Marco.
Yeah. I think maybe like that publication.
This one?
Or the top right corner.
All right.
Just because we were talking about publications.
Nice. Oh, look at an animation. Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Let's take a look through. I'll do a quick look through, and then we can focus.
Then we can. Yeah.
How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well laid out.
Yeah, it seems like it's a very dense publication, a lot of information, which seems like you did a good job actually managing the layout for all the information that you had to fit in to it. Yeah, I think one thing that I was going to say, it's nice that it has a very simple grid. It's a 2-column grid that sometimes you actually seems like you're using a single column text. I would say, so that's one of the things that I just noticed, that if you were doing that, it's always helpful to bump up the type size, just because the longer the lines get, they're harder to read. So you kind of have to account for those kind of scenario, or watch out for those scenarios. Other than that, I think I think that overall it's the typographic grid is very clear and everything. I would probably try to make it maybe a little less busy, try to focus on hierarchy, where you put the emphasis on certain element. It seems like you have a very clear logic about how things are working, like the colors that you're using, the placement of elements. But I think even with that, you can still introduce some interesting moments, like you can have, full bleed images that give a lot of that would give a lot of life to the publication.
Maybe even a resting space, so that not every page has so much content.
Exactly.
And it'll give a place for your eye to rest and just pause and then get into the rest of it.
Right.
Nice job.
Yeah, but
Awesome.
I think it's really nice that you figured out, the grid and everything.
Cool. All right, let's take a look at something else.
Yeah, so maybe like now for real, look at something that has more illustration.
You're like, that one wasn't illustrated, but I wanted illustration. All right, let's see. This one looks like illustration. So does the top one.
Or what was that one that you were going to look at?
This? Old Crow Medicine Show band promotion.
Or does she have a favorite? Is she in the chat?
Yeah, she's in the chat. Let's see.
Which one do you want us to?
Christina, if you have a project that you'd like us to review specifically, please let us know. In the meantime, we will keep picking.
Yeah, what is that black thing?
This
publication?
one? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Pick it. So, bigger voice, better force. Advertising, graphic design, print design.
All right.
Looks like application and web design.
Uh-huh.
Print design. Bigger voice, better force.
Oh, okay. So it's just an ad?
I think so. Well, it looks like a campaign, possibly. I would say possibly writing up a little bit more of an intro or an intro in general will help the audience understand what it is, what it was for, and what your role was on the project. I think that would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
But it's interesting to think about also how, it would this ad would react in different platform. Like, that sort of web platform versus the print. Like how the layout of that just couple of words could actually change.
Totally.
Depending on the...
Yeah, you could stack them differently or make them bigger for print.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
Good idea. Okay, she said anything in the top row.
Anything in the top row.
All right. Okay. You want to look at this Hellfire hot sauce?
Yeah, you pick.
Handcrafted in hell.
Hot sauce. I'm getting hungry.
Hade's hot sauce. Interesting.
So this is branding?
Looks like it.
Okay.
So again, I think a little intro or synopsis of what the project is, what your role was on it, and what the problem and solution was.
Right.
I think is always helpful.
Definitely.
This is cool. I like the photography.
Yeah.
I like to know that it's real.
Yeah.
And I like the setting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a nice little illustration too. Yeah, I think it works nicely with the context. I like how the colors, like that little label, actually work with the part that is the fabric that is around, that is wrapped around the top. I like how they work together. It would be also interesting to see, like, because that circular motion, I think that's really interesting, and I'm wondering if there was something that you could do with the centered part that is set in a horizontal line. I'm wondering,
you mean here?
Yeah, that and the actual title, like Hellfire.
Yeah, Hellfire.
If they could also do something with some kind of like circular motion. Yeah, I'm just wondering like how those could also follow or have to do something with that. But I also think that pepper, or is that a pepper thing, illustration, that might be also a good maybe moment that you could integrate it with the typography and do some fun interaction or came up with some interesting moments that the two would overlap or like did something cool, or maybe the illustration could be outlined and sort of overlapped the type or got bigger, maybe a lot bigger than what it is right now, because I feel like it's getting a little lost.
It's a really nice project though, Christina. This is really great. And she said she handmade all the packaging and photographed the project.
Nice. Yeah, it's a really nice photo.
Nice job.
Nice photograph.
Little appreciation there, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo.
Great.
Cool. Well, let's look at one more before we move on to the other portfolio. One of the other two in the top? Which one do you want to go for?
What is the right digital
this
project?
One? Digital project badges or kind of like a self-portrait?
Yeah, let's do that self-portrait.
All right. Ah, nice. A little
cool.
introduction for it. Created on a Samsung with the pen and Illustrator Draw. Nice. Very pretty.
Yeah.
I like the glasses. The detail of the wood on the side of the glasses is pretty cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. So, like, she has all these different stages. It's cool.
Cool.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
You should do a little animation, a GIF of that, of the building up. I think that could be really nice way to show your progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Nice job, Christina.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your portfolio.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, we could do one more before we move on. So if you want to choose one, anyone in there?
Yeah, is there, did she wanted us to go through the first row? Should we just look at the last one from the first row?
Cyber Vista. Oh, this looks like it's part of that project. The Cyber Vista pamphlet. Possibly.
Cool.
Cool.
And these are just
Digital product badges, so
badges,
illustration.
okay. Illustration. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think it'd be great to combine this with the other project,
Yeah.
just so that it's a more holistic project,
Yeah.
showing both the online and the printed brochure together,
Right.
and how they work together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think these are nice, simple illustrations.
Yeah.
I would probably also keep it just simple like that.
Yeah.
Like I would maybe not
Maybe take the
necessarily
gradient out of the
right.
background.
Yeah. Or the
Just so that it's
pattern.
cleaner
Right.
and reproducing, and it doesn't get as muddy on digital.
Yeah. But color coding and those
Mhm.
things are, I think, nice, and you can play with those even more. I think that's
Yeah.
seems like you know what you're up to with all that, those extra sort of elements that you're using, but you're still keeping things simple.
Totally.
So
Nice job,
Yeah.
Christina.
cool.
Way to go. All right, so our next portfolio, and I think before we reveal, maybe we come out of space.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there, guys.
Good. Coming back to Earth.
Our next portfolio
make it.
is Antoine Pillet. Antoine is from Belgium, and let's see, focus in art direction, graphic design, and branding. Oh, and it looks like the work has been featured quite a few times. Congratulations. Ooh la la.
Cool.
So let's do a little overview of everything. And then I'm going to have you pick something that draws your attention.
Okay.
And then going back up.
They're all very nice. It's hard to pick,
Yeah.
really. What are those? Are those business cards? The red
These?
red and white.
These.
Yeah.
All right. Atelier des Possibles. Oh.
Translation.
The Shop of Possibility?
Yeah. That sounds
Possibility
right.
Shop? Yes. I like it.
That's a cool animation.
Yeah.
Is there something happening at the end?
I'm not sure. If there is,
Or should we
maybe.
just wait for 3 hours?
Yeah, if there is, it's a little slow.
Yeah.
And people might do this and move on and not get to the point.
Mhm.
No, it looks like that was
Oh,
it.
okay, that was just it. Okay.
Cool. A moment when the mind is free to let the body create. So this is nice. We've got a little bit of an intro of the fact that it's form and body work for therapy.
Mhm.
And the hand-drawn brush strokes express a moment when the mind is free to let the body create. That's a really nice sentiment.
Yeah. What is that? Oh, I'm trying to see what
It
that
looks
shape
like the
is.
brush stroke. So there was this
Oh, I see.
circle, the hand-drawn Zen circle, and a brush stroke.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if it fits.
Yeah, I think that's something that
is
is stood out.
distracting. I like the drawing in the background to
Yeah, the
represent
drawing
that,
is really nice.
but the O itself, I don't know if it's necessary.
And again, I think this is another good moment to. I mean, I mentioned something about that with the previous portfolio, but this one could also use as kind of like moments that the typography and drawing interact.
Yeah, totally.
Instead of just like sitting on top of each other, I think that could be nice. But I like the simplicity of the layout and the drawing. I think they work really nicely together.
Totally. I like the line drawing, the monoline drawing.
Yeah.
I almost prefer that if you were going to integrate it for the O, to have something that's maybe circular in that line way.
Yeah, no, that's a really good
You
point.
know?
Like if
Could be thin, but
yeah,
repetitive.
But repetitive, right? Yeah. But I think he
He, and-
he's
yeah?
going for some
Antoine?
kind of like a sort of like a, what are they called? This special type of brush stroke that has to do with like Zen and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So I don't know, like if. Yeah. I don't
Really
know.
nice project though, and really complete.
Yeah.
Nice
that's great.
job.
Yeah. Really cool.
Amazing. All right, so what do you want to look at next?
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going here. I was like, what's
Cool.
this sustainable fashion? I
Yeah.
was like, I like both of those things.
Iconable.
Iconable. Oh, very interesting with this
Yeah.
very calligraphic fat serif
Mhm.
and that strong sans. Headquartered in New York, partners with brands around the world, high quality clothing.
Nice.
This is great.
Be the icon.
Be the icon.
I like how that O matches the same.
Yeah, right?
Angle
It's
of
feeling
the-
the
yeah,
neckline. Yeah, I
neckline,
I
right.
feel like that wasn't an accident. That
Yeah,
was like
I'm
good
wondering
image
if-
choice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Random details.
Sustainable. Now,
Nice.
let's see. Is that the same able as the other able?
It's bigger.
No.
Yeah, it's a different,
Yeah,
heavier.
I would have
weight.
liked to have seen the same able, just to carry in that same idea of iconable. Icon, nature. Nice.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I like these sort of basic system that you came up with, splitting everything based on like how icon and able are like two pieces word, and you're going off of that into like with this idea of splitting all the spreads into like two sections and one thing happening on the right and one thing happening on the left. So I think that's a really nice, simple concept.
Totally. The photography is really well done too.
Yeah.
It's nice to see real
The
photographs
actual
and
pieces.
showing them in context. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Great job.
Very nice.
Say sustainable, be an icon. I like it.
Nice totes.
Ooh, yeah. Front and back tote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These
Oh,
are
this is great. Just really good
cool.
process.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the photography is also really nice, especially like these, like the one that we just passed by. I think the photography is really
This
great.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a casual, but not.
Yeah.
like casual.
It's a different way to dry your clothes. I like that.
It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
It has a lot
totally.
of like, I don't know, attitude.
Character, yeah.
Character,
totally.
right?
Oh, it's super nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Great job.
Well done.
A little appreciation out there. Woo.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
What is next? What is no or like,
No.
I don't know what it is.
We're going to find out. Oh, typeface design. Nice.
Cool.
Demi-serif, one style, version 2.0, download at Selfie. Ooh la la.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
that's
see.
super nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that little serif that appearing. Like
Here?
it's like an interesting
Yeah.
combination. Like, because I think it
Extremely.
looks like it's a geometric typeface, but you kind of brought in that
Yeah, it's geometric
additional-
serif.
yeah. serif. It's really
It
interesting.
seems almost like a hybrid with a monoline,
Right.
serif, and geometric sans.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like if not Times New Roman and Futura or Futura had a
Totally.
baby.
Yeah, totally.
It would
And then
be
just
like
put a
this.
foot on
Right.
the edge of everything
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
I'd like to see like a little bit more exaggeration in some of the more or some of the less common characters, like the S. I think you could use some serif or something that will make it stand out a little bit more exciting, because there's few characters you can really have fun with, and I think a G,
Yeah.
the S, and the Q
Right.
can be wild because you don't
Definitely.
use them as often.
Yeah, and I think because that's a really good point. I also would add that it doesn't have that little extra serif that you bring in. It doesn't have to happen in every single
Yeah.
word, even though you have the opportunity to do it. But I think
Right.
it actually makes it really predictable, which is maybe not.
Yeah, you
that
want to
exciting.
have some excitement so that
Right.
when there's an unexpectedness in some of the letter forms.
Right.
Yeah, and I think always having your serif to the left,
Yeah.
it's not actually as common, which isn't necessarily bad.
Right.
But I would say that instead of maybe putting it here on the L, you would most likely put it on the lower bar
Yeah.
on the crossbar at
Yeah.
the bottom.
Yeah. So the placement. could
Same with
be-
the E. Yeah, the placement seems a little bit more tacked on
Right,
than
yeah.
it does seem like maybe researched.
Right.
So I think, though it's interesting, I would take a second pass at it. Maybe
Yeah.
do a V3.
Yeah, it's a smart concept for a typeface, but
Yeah.
it just needs more. Maybe you just need to do more iteration.
Yeah, totally.
And just play with it a little more. See what else that you could come up with that is
Yeah.
more unexpected.
And then maybe put it in have a little bit more background as to why you created it and what its main purpose and use case is for. So that way people will know.
Yeah.
Nice job.
Nice.
Cool. I think we have time for
One
one more
more.
quick one. Yeah.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I never know what to choose. I'm usually like color.
Yeah.
Oh, there's personal branding. No, can't do that. Okay, wait. No, you choose. Okay, soda.
Okay.
And I was like, this one.
Cool.
I really like the idea that it's a construction company
Oh yeah.
because that's something that could be very, very boring.
Yeah. That's why you should use
And it's pretty
grotesque.
cool looking so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you can always make something exciting even more exciting, but construction, very basic and expected. So
Yeah.
how did he do to make this interesting?
Yeah, that's it. I think I would say that New Grotesque
Sauvage, yeah.
is
Very.
good.
It's sauvage. It's just savage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good choice because it seems like a very sort of conservative
Yeah.
typeface, but at the same time, I
Interesting.
think there's some really nice details
Mm-hmm.
about the typeface. So I think that's a really good choice. But I also like how you use the materiality,
Yeah.
like with the emboss and all these like subtle, elements that you
details, yeah.
introduce.
I like the grid quite
Yeah.
a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very textural.
Yeah.
And I wish that in the beginning of this concept, you had the logo to explain the whole concept earlier on. I think maybe it's just a reordering of your curation to help people understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then your first photo looks a little bit fuzzy, and you have such good photography in there
I
that
thought
I
that
would
was my
maybe.
eyes.
Yeah, I thought it was my eyes first too, and then I was like, shoot, I really should have worn my
Yeah.
glasses. But I think that there's just a reordering of your curation to tell the story. It's really nicely done.
Yeah, nice. And the photography is really nice.
Yeah, love this.
Great.
Cool, nice work.
Yeah.
All right, so that leaves us with 2 minutes, and we are going to hop back over to Pouya,
All right.
and maybe we can do a little last run through of the
Animation.
editorial. Yeah, you're like, I just turned off my computer, no big deal.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's.
Oh,
gonna
there we
actually
go. Well, maybe, almost.
do-
Well,
okay.
If you were along with us on our journey today and the last 2 days, Amalgam is having a new chapter, a new edition, a new series.
Yes.
Adding that with more Dynamo type. So,
Yeah.
Pouya, this is amazing. Please
Thank you.
walk through.
Yeah. So this is basically this particular section of the first issue that I worked on during these past couple of days or 3 days.
Amazing.
And this was a conversation with Dynamo Type Foundry. And what we did was that we used the content that they provided us with and that we basically just had fun with.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys have a chance, definitely take a look at some of the replays. You can do that on behance.net/live. Well, I want to thank you, Pouya, so much
Thank
for
you.
being with us. And thank you to those 2 brave souls, Christina and Antoine, for letting us review your portfolios. Great work, guys. Stick with us because we have another awesome show with Alma and Kathleen, and they will be up with us right next. Thanks, Pouya.
Great.
Yeah,
Thanks.
bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye. I know which. Okay.